Oh, we're in progress.
We're in progress, yes. Yeah. Hey, Jim, it's really good to be able to have this opportunity to chat with you and to kind of enable people to meet you through this form. So welcome to this conversation. I would like you just to tell us a little bit about yourself.
Right, thank you. Well, it's great to be here, and really looking forward to joining you and so on. Yeah, my name is Jim Pye, proper name James Timothy Pye. I was born to Thelma and Bill Pye. My dad died about 2 years ago. I've got a sister, Christine, who's 4 years younger than me. She's got 2 children and 3 grandchildren. Coming from Norwich, I used to support Norwich City as a teenager, and I still follow them via the EDP website. I used to like to play football. When I was at school, I had part-time jobs to fund my attendance at Carrow Road, and latterly, when I got on, was old enough to pay for my motorbikes and my not very riotous social life. After A-levels, I decided not to go into university, but worked in insurance and was qualified as an associate of the Chartered Insurance Institute. I worked for Eagle Star Group in Norwich, Ipswich, Peterborough and Leicester. And in 1984, when Leicester left them to manage a firm of insurance brokers. My church background is that my parents attended a congregational church in Norwich, Princes Street, which of course became a URC church, I think in the late 60s. And I attended there until I was in my mid-teens, and then tended to spend Sundays on motorbikes with my friends. And when I was about 18, I started attending the local Anglican youth group with my then girlfriend. And on the 23rd of July, 1978, became a Christian at a musical about the life of Jesus, which was called The Witness. And soon after, I co-founded a younger youth group in our church. Quite soon after that, I had a serious motorbike accident. I was going around a corner on my 850 Norton Commando and hit some wet leaves and hit my head. And for 15 days was unconscious. And there were so many people praying for me and concerned for me and so on. I'm sure that led to my full recovery, which took about 3 months to work through all of that, because I was then semi-conscious for a while and had to build up my strength with walking and such like. But prayer was really important there.
Right. I was just going to say, the URC, I have the URC background as well, so that's both of us. And I grew up in a congregational church that became the United Reformed Church. And actually, it was the 1st of October 1972 that the United Reformed Church was formed.
All right. Okay. Yeah. Well, thank you.
In there.
Yeah. I've got quite an ecumenical background, but anyway, more of that perhaps a bit later. Anyway, I married Melanie in 1984. Soon after I became an office manager of an insurance brokers there. We'd met in Peterborough, where I've been working, in 1982. We were both representatives of different churches on an ecumenical ministry to teenagers and those in the 20s. I was still playing football then, and not long before the wedding was injured, had a fractured cheekbone, a black eye and severe bruising, but thankfully I recovered in time for the wedding and the wedding photos.
Could have been in trouble there.
Yes, I know. Yeah. In Leicester, one of the places I used to go to was the Lineker fruit stall on the market. And Gary's brothers were all admiring my bruises and such like sustained by playing football when I was there. Anyway, going forward a little bit, Josh was born in 1992 when I was a curate in Derby. He's now living in Hitchin and is a senior scientist at GlaxoSmithKline, having studied biochemistry at Nottingham Trent University. Chloe was born 8 years later in 2000 when I was rector of Torque near Stoke-on-Trent, and she'll be starting her second year studying music and musical theatre at Chichester University shortly. And we've also got 2 cats. Lola and Charlie, who are sisters. So that's just a little bit about me.
Okay, great, thank you. So we're obviously looking forward to you coming to Easting with Lola and Charlie, as well, of course, with Melanie. But just think about, how did you come to hear God's call to the ordained ministry coming out of insurance, as you've been telling us, and where has that call taken you?
Thank you. Yeah, I mean, before ordination, Melanie and I had always been active in our churches, doing various things, leading young people's groups, home groups, and so on. Soon after we were married in 1984, living in Leicester, we went to a place called Bradgate Park, which is to the north of Leicester. Used to be owned by the Grey family of Lady Jane Grey fame. It's a National Trust property. And as you drive into the left is Newtown Linford Church. And we went in there on one of the occasions when we went to Bradgate Park. And to cut a long story short, I ended up talking about the evidence for Jesus' bodily resurrection with a woman who was there at the same time. And afterwards, she said to Melanie, "Is your husband a vicar?" And she said, "No, he's just my husband." And the vicar asked me if I was a theological student from St John's, Nottingham, because it's not far away, being on the north side of Leicester. And that got us thinking. I discussed ordination with the vicar who married us and who knew us both very well. Also my former youth group leaders, and in actual fact, one of them went on to be ordained after I was. At our church, we had a shaft group, service home and abroad full time. And that enabled us to think and pray and work through the various processes that one has to for ordination. And 3 years later, I started a theological degree at Oak Hill College in 1987. I enjoyed my time there. I loved studying. I was also the football captain and the fixtures secretary, the snooker representative, and I was on the founding committee of the Namagongo project, which still helps a theological college and its students in Uganda, which had been torched by Idi Amin's troops. We had quite a few students from Africa at Oak Hill when I studied there, and I still keep in touch with one or two of them. During the holidays there, I had temporary insurance jobs in the city. After college, I spent 4 years at Derby as a curate, helping during an interregnum. Melanie and I ran many what we call inquiries groups that was pre-Alpha, and this led people to faith and renewed their faith. We ran many groups and just saw great blessing there, which was undergirded by prayer from the other home groups. And my preaching ministry was appreciated there. I worked in the nearby secondary school with ecumenical colleagues. We then moved to Talk of the Hill near Stoke-on-Trent for 10 years. During that time, people came to faith through Alpha groups, and the ministry to children and young teenagers developed there. There were 4 county primary schools in the parish, and I ministered in them, and one of them was an Anglican school, and I was on the board of governors there. We developed stronger ecumenical links, and I won the Vicar's penalty competition at Port Vale Football Club on June 2000, when churches in North Staffordshire got together to celebrate the millennium. And if you look over my shoulder there, next door to the clock, is the magnificent trophy, which is uglier than sin. And I've got that for another 979 years till the next millennium. In 2004, we moved to Nebworth, and we've led various outreach groups, including Alpha and Christianity Explored, that has led people to faith. I've developed strong links to the primary school and signed a local ecumenical partnership with other churches in the village. There's a long history of ecumenism in the village. I've also built up our outreach with the help of others to young families with Messy Church and carer and baby toddler group. In 2014, I had a sabbatical and went with OM to Sao Paulo, Brazil for outreach during the World Cup. You get the theme here.
Yeah.
It was an amazing experience to get to know the Brazilian people, and also in our outreach team, Christians from all over the world. And I still keep in touch with many of them by Facebook and through WhatsApp as well.
Great. That's one. There seems to be a theme. I'm pleased there's a strong kind of ministry theme, but that does seem to be kind of matched with a strong football theme in your life.
Yes, yeah, I think Gillingham is the nearest football league club to Eastling.
It is. Gillingham is.
I've already looked.
Right. So
and they're playing Norwich. Sorry, go on.
Yeah, I was going to say, apart from attending Priestfield Stadium to watch Norwich play, what else might you be looking forward to in joining us here in the Benefice and in the move to the rectory with Eastling with Melanie?
Well, we're very much looking forward to getting to know our brothers and sisters in Christ, all the 10 churches. It was great when I came up to be interviewed and so on, to meet so many people, and we were very encouraged by what happened there. I'm looking forward to working with you and Caroline and others in the leadership team, and it'll be great to work in a team. And one of the things that I'm excited about is that so many people are involved in the running of the churches, and the way that this is facilitated by you, Steve, and the approach of the diocese. And I'm excited to discover where God will lead us together. And Melanie and I are also looking forward to exploring and getting to know the beautiful county of Kent. So looking forward to that.
Brilliant. And kind of as a last question I have for you is, how can we all be praying for you and Melanie at this time?
Well, you can pray for the removal process. You'll know from the conversation I had with you before this that the removers seem to have problems accommodating when we want to move. So please pray for that. And also, you know, moving is one of the big stressful things in life, also starting a new job. So I've got both at the same time. So please pray for that. We're very grateful to Andrew Baxter and the diocesan staff and others who have assisted us already. So please pray for the preparations for the move and the actual move itself. Please pray for the practicalities of Melanie and I once we move to Eastling. We're moving farther away from Mel's parents in Peterborough and my mother and sister in Norwich, and also Joshua in Hitchin. Not insurmountable, but you know, something we've got to get used to. And also for us to get to know the area, including our way around all of those country lanes.
Yes.
As I mentioned earlier, please pray that the leadership team and I will have the wisdom to discern what God is calling me to be and do, you know, for the right use of my time, my gifts and energies to support and grow God's kingdom in the Benefice. And also for us all to get to know and love one another. And also as well, I think if we can all just give thanks for the opportunity to be together and to serve the Lord together as well. So, yeah.
Brilliant. That's great. And we are really looking forward to, we will certainly be praying for that thing about the move and the logistics. Actually that coming together as a team and seeking God as a Benefice together about where he's taking us. And we're really looking forward to your licensing on the 28th of September.
Great.
And of course the move before that.
Yes, great stuff.
Indeed. So thank you for spending this time with us.